My name is Alejandro Chaul. I've been blessed to be connected to the Rothko Chapel through the many programs they do. And I always found it to be a fantastic space. And not only inside, actually outside too, here also with the broken obelisk, but in general, and as you know, the three areas that the chapel really promotes is interfaith, human rights, and art. So most of the programs you'll see are in this area, and you can go to rothkochapel.org to see more of what we do here. I also represent Ligmincha Institute, a Tibetan Bon-Buddhist tradition here in Houston. And today I'm delighted that it's not just us, but also Dawn Mountain, another Tibetan Buddhist Center in Houston, and the Houston Zen Center, that all together we decided to celebrate this occasion together and bring it to the community in this fabulous space. So what we'll do is we'll start with a Tibetan ritual of, you see now fire, but eventually will be smoke. And the idea is that as we look at the smoke and as we connect with the smoke and the smoke rises, it rises our spirits. And as we put offerings into the smoke, we're clearing our own spirit. So there's a part of it that looks pretty external, but it's very important, the internal part. And in fact, our teacher Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche, who was doing a webcast at noon today, he was talking about these aspects of external and internal. So part of what I want to invoke and want to invite you to do as we're doing this ritual is not so much to focus on the external, but how that helps you to be internally connected, to find your own internal space, your own internal clarity, your own internal warmth, because that's from where we can share with each other. Those who will be closer here will get more warmth. There'll be a part of the ritual that will be done by reading, and there'll be purification first through water, and then through incense, and then kind of expelling the obstacles through sesame seeds. And then we'll do all the offerings. And you're welcome to join us in the readings by those who have the photocopies. And if we don't have enough, please feel free to share. And the idea, again, if you don't want to read them and you just want to kind of participate in being here, that is fine as well. And as we read it, we'll be reading it pretty fast. And the idea is really to connect to not only the ritual, but as I said, more internally. And after we do that, we'll do a little prayer. You also have it in your folder, the prayer of Yeshu Walmo, which is really a protectress. And a protectress that protects us not only from obstacles, and in a way, when we think of obstacles, and at one point it says that protects us from our enemies. I just want to make sure that you understand who the enemies are. So the enemies are our own anger, our own attachment, our own ignorance, our own pride, our own jealousy. Those are the main enemies. That when they press our buttons, they become bigger. So partly is connecting and not letting them press our buttons or wet them. So as we do that, we'll do that with a drum. And then after that, Harvey from Dawn Mountain will do a prayer, a meditation, and we'll see, depending on the weather, if we're going to keep on being outside or inside. And then finally, from the Houston Zen Center, look at the beautiful gong that they brought, or two gongs that they brought. They'll invite us to join them with the gong. So it's going to be, I think, a very nice way of having all the three centers together and celebrating this special new year, this time the year of the horse. And so it may bring external and internal strength. So let's start with the smoke. Steve? So if you can just put some.
Sure.
And before we actually start with the offerings, what I want you to do is, if you want, maybe close your eyes for a moment and just feel your internal space. As you feel your internal space, connect to your internal clarity, or what we call consciousness. In a way, one of the ways we express it in our tradition is that as we connect inside, it's an unbounded space, and the consciousness is like the infinite sun of awareness that is able to illuminate that, and from there bring the warmth. And allow that space with clarity and warmth to feel that it expands from your body into everyone here. And we're all included into that sacred space. We all are included into each other's sacred space. And that as we do the ritual and the meditation and the gongs, what we're doing is we're invoking from this sacred space, uniting with the whole world's space, so we can be more clear, more warm to each other, and finding more peace and light. So with that, when we start doing the purification through the water, you can feel that the water is cleansing any obstacles, any of those enemies that we have. Let them be cleared, and the same with the smoke, the same with the incense, and so forth. Om. When the supreme body of the great wrathful king is astride the peak of the snow mountain, the glacier melts. These offerings are prepared and thoroughly cleansed and purified by means of this glacial water mixed with herbs. Thus all karmic traces and obscurations are removed. Water? 조교 전보 구조교 종교 강가 저조마 다진 상마 저마에 바전 저모 두바제 땡기 하와 자와자 워기 루가 자와자 바전 양아 자와자 땡기 전야 자와자 정한 양마 자와자 여주제 냥군 장장유제. Moreover, the devas on the high become purified, the nagas below become purified, the Nyan dwelling below between become purified, these seats and throats become purified, these garments become purified. Furthermore, these implements and substances become purified. Om Shudoku Shudo Sansale Sangeya Soha. You can burn it. You can feel out through that water. You can get some clearing of our own obstacles as we start with the incense. Om, when the supreme body of the great wrathful king upon the victorious mountain peak extracts the nectars of groves and forests, these offerings are prepared and thoroughly cleansed and purified by means of this delightful incense that is aromatic, fragrant, and sweetly scented. Rothko Chapel Kuchaji Regal Sananda Tachu Dachi Sangwa Jobai Richin Senadio. Sengil Hayan Zawaja, Wongin Loya Zawaja, Bajanyan Zawaja, Danjanyang Zawaja, Jigga Nangjan Zen Waja, Yuju Zenyang Gunjan Sang Yuja. Moreover, the devas on high become purified, fumigated, the nagas below are fumigated. The Nyan who dwell in between are fumigated, these seats and thrones are fumigated, these garments are fumigated. Furthermore, these implements and substances are fumigated. Om Shin Shin Dan Nam Bune Ten Tem Yeso Ha. Om Shin Shin Dan Nam Ten Ten Ine Ten So. Om Shin Shin Dan Nam Bune Ten Tem Yeso Ha. Om, by the power of our meditation and by the supreme power of reality, these kings who are white mustard seeds is supreme among wrathful deities and heroic against obstructions, being golden in color and arrows of mantra, because they're scattered together with mantras if they exist any obstacles that cause harm. Let all the obscurations be pacified and crushed into dust. Somyoloyo Buruburu Salamanto Tetramoha, Somyo Buruburu Samanto Tetramoha, Somyo Buruburu Samanto Tetramoha. Pacifying all hindrances to the 10 virtues of ourselves and others, and pacifying all those who become friends and collaborators of the 10 vices. Let the boundaries be secured against these wrong kinds of obstacles that are hindrances to the fire and earth. Again, you can keep on feeling internally that you're getting more and more purified, more connected to that inner space with more clarity and more warmth as we generate the fire deities. From the dimension of the sky, the bodhisattvas are invoked, and since they are absorbed into this host of deities who have been generated by our minds, the wisdom beings and symbolic beings merge into non-duality as activity beings who go about everywhere to accomplish the benefit of beings. Moreover, from our heart centers emanate the 3 syllables Ram, Yang, Mang, which strike the puja substances and the homa substances, which melt into light. In their outer aspect, the offerings become a treasury of objects of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. The inner aspect, the offerings become beautiful goddesses who present the puja offerings. And in their secret aspect, they become a vast puja offerings of primordial awareness, devoid of discursive thoughts. Having offered all this to the host of deities who have been generated by visualization, these things become excellent offerings that are exceedingly delightful, supreme among the delights of body, speech, and mind. Golden liquor. Aum Hum. Aum. Aum. This fumigation offering continues and inexhaustible. A marvelous offering by the sumptuously enjoyed is presented within a celestial palace in a completely pure realm, wherein resides the unborn Dharmakaya, the perfect Sambhogakaya possessing characteristics, the Nirmanakaya that accomplishes the benefit of beings, as well as all the peaceful deities spontaneously perfected who increase virtues and bring ultimate realization. The wrathful deities originated miraculously who liberate from enemies and obstructions by way of fierce actions, together with messengers who act quickly, greatly powerful and skilled Dakinis, mothers and sisters, the perfect Buddhas who represent the 3 bodies, the Sugatas of the 3 times, the Bodhisattvas of the 10 stages, the excellent Gurus who possess the lineages, the Dakinis, mothers and sisters residing in the 3 places, the 3 supports, images, scriptures, and stupas that remove the darkness of ignorance, and the Shenrabs of the 10 directions and the 3 realms, together with their retinues. To all of them we offer this continuous and inexhaustible fumigation offering, and thus completely propitiate the minds of these mighty tutelary deities. In particular, to those host of deities who are completely pure mothers and daughters, such as the Great Mother, Sartre Garzang, to those host of deities of the Yundrung Langse scripture, such as the 4 chief Sugatas, to those host of deities of the various activity Oma rites, such as the 3 fire deities of the Trikaya, to those host of deities who are peaceful Sugatas, such as Kuntu Zampo, to those host of deities who are miraculously increased prosperity, such as Kunang Chapa, to those host of deities who have blessings and power, such as Tokcho Kajing, to those host of deities who are powerful and fierce, such as Walsa and Nampa, to those host of deities of the Purba that secure liberation, such as Rukse Chempa, to those host of deities among the pure deities of the Shangshun, such as Tree Protectors, to those host of deities of the Mother Tantra, such as Sang Chod Tartuk, to those host of deities of the Chakra Ropa, such as Chemcho Kajing, to those host of deities of the Dutsi men, such as Yundrun Chumo, to those host of deities of the Trumu Chudul, such as Raksha Ubum, to those host of deities of the Putimarnak, such as Takla Member, to those host of deities of the indestructible long life, such as Chikme Tsupu, to those host of deities of the Ranse, Ponce and Rixin, such as Gokpun Drangpa, to those of deities who are Dakinis, both mothers and sisters, such as Kalpa Sangmo, to those of deities who are heroes of the male lineage, such as Sewan Denzin, to those of deities who are heroines amongst the wild women, such as Tukje Kunro, To those host of deities who are guardians of the precepts and protectors of boons such as Sipa Jamo, all of them possessing the powers of knowledge of love, experts of the means of subduing beings, both principal deeds and emanating retinues, together with additional retinues. To all of them we present this continuous and inexhaustible fumigation offering, and thus completely propitiate the minds of these mighty tutelary deities. Furthermore, to those who promise to guard the teachings of the Yundun Bön, to the Supreme Mother Sipa Jamo, to the 3 oath-bound Namchi sisters, to the 6 troop of Sipa Jamo emanations, and the 3 Jaramas who are watchers over the precepts, to the host of deities who are red and black mule riders, to the 5 troop of oath-bound mothers and daughters, to the mother and queen of the Dala, Tagri Rong, to the goddess and the queen of the north Kumara, and to the secret consort, the Nagini Wobarma, to all of them among the host of female oath-bound guardians of the lineage, we present this continuous and inexhaustible fumigation offering, and thus completely propitiate the mind of these mighty tutelary deities. Furthermore, to the bloody-headed Miju Jampa, to the host of deities who are Dutsen, both red and black, holding nets. You can keep on pouring. To the wild Sen Hurpa who can cause death, to the rock Sen Apse Jalwa, to the guardian of the teachings Manya and Pora, to the general of the Jalput spirits Yang War, to the owner of the wealth of the Yakshas Kubera, to the great king Nikpanze, to the great excellent friend Jalwalbar, to the great king Sheltrapchal, and to those hosts of oath-bound guardians belonging to the male lineage, such as the great king of the wealth, Rakpa Sengye, to present his continuous and inexhaustible fumigation offering, and thus completely propitiate the minds of these mighty tutelary deities. Furthermore, to the 72 glorious protectors who are worldly, to the 8 classes of Devas, Asuras, and Rakshasas who obey the commands of the Buddhas, to the 30 Guru of Tibet, to the 12 Tenma goddesses of the country of Tibet, to the 360 gods of the Mares, to the 900,000 lesser goddesses, and to the Shidag of this country and its mountains, and to the guardians of these places of solitude in the mountains, we present this continuous and inexhaustible fumigation offering, and thus completely propitiate the minds of these mighty tutelary deities. Having done so, we pray that they engage in wide activities and become great friends of virtue. Furthermore, upon those beings in the 4 kinds of rebirth found in the 3 realms, upon those beings of the 5 paths, as well as those beings who wander about without stability in the 6 realms of rebirth, may there descend nectars of Amrita like rainfalls, similar to those guests who are highest, to those guests who are virtuous qualities, to those guests who are indebted, and to those guests who are objects of our compassion. We present this vast and unsurpassed clouds of offerings. May the victorious ones be delighted by these offerings. May these offerings propitiate oath-bound tutelary deities. May these offerings pacify the noxious and troublesome devas and rakshasas. May these offerings satisfy with generosity all sentient beings in the 6 realms of rebirth. Moreover, having become like that with regard to our prayers and the accomplished virtuous actions, on behalf of us practitioners together with our retinues, may they pacify all hindrances and disturbances and bring about abundance and harmonious conditions. May they realize whatever we may think or intend, and they grind into dust all hateful enemies and obstructions that cause harm. May they spread universally the teachings of the Buddha. We pray that they may realize abundantly the happiness and welfare of all sentient beings. Furthermore, as for the disturbances caused by the dew demons that descend from above, and the disturbances caused by the Shri demons that arise from below, as well as the disturbances caused by the Sen spirits and Mu spirits that occur in between, we pray that they may be dispatched into the sky. We pray that they may be pacified into the dimension of space. We pray that they may be equalized into the vast space, expanse of space. However, if the spirits who cause disturbances do not keep peaceful and quiescent, then we will summon them back into this fire mandala, pass them over with strength, and suppress them with power, force in the dimension of space. So we can receive this as we get back, reconnect with the space that now is more purified. We can connect to this smoke that is ascending and our spirits ascending, as we usually do this in Tibet, in the top of a mountain, feeling uplifted. We'll do the prayer to our protectress, Yeshawalmo Sipajamo, and then we'll stand up around the circle of the smoke. And so in our tradition, we feel, as we invoke the protectress, we feel more protected. And we invite everyone to stand up for a moment. And we'll pass some tsampa, which is our, usually it's barley flour that is roasted. And I invite you to come closer to the circle. For now, we'll get back to the seats. But for now, and if you want, you can bring one of the prayers, the one that says, let's see where you have it. Towards the back, green, the white, the prayer for increasing prosperity and luck. And usually I would do this at the end, but I want to make sure that we are outside to do this because we don't want to do this ritual part inside. And so traditionally, and you can come forward and you can come closer to the smoke. And not only the smoke, as I said earlier, kind of feeling the smoke as a uplifting, but also purifying you. So for some people, that's nice. Some people feel they want to be farther apart. That's fine. Feel comfortable. And you'll see we'll read this prayer. And at the end, it says, Kiki soso la jalo. And so when we do that, at the end of the prayer, right before that, we'll grab that tsampa and we'll go so 3 times. And as we do so, it's like feeling the support of the uplifting energy of the smoke and the uplifting energy of each of us. We'll do that 3 times. And then at the end, when we say Kiki soso lajalo, we throw it up in the air, we scream, it's happiness. Think that we're being in the top of a mountain. In a way, we're in the top of a spiritual mountain here, and we're all together doing this. So does everyone have, may I have some too? Not yet? Thank you. Dinesh? We'll say it in English because I think it's easier. I want to leave time for the others, so. Do everyone have? Still working? You can go faster. You can move faster.
Over there, Diana, this side. What is the cue for the
I'll do the cue. So after we say obtain sublime auspiciousness, then we'll go down. We go so you'll get the cue. How are we doing with Sampa? Everyone has some? Yep. Okay. May we be protected by the compassion of the teachers. May the aspiration of the deities be powerful. May the Bon teachings and all Buddhist teachings flourish. May the contentment and happiness of sentient beings be bountiful. May non-virtuous negative actions decline. May barbaric abusiveness decrease. May all sentient beings in cyclic existence, after cutting the continuum of suffering and misery, obtain sublime auspiciousness. Kiki Soso Hajalo! Woo! So now with lifted spirits, we can greet each other. Kind of big hug. And then after we give the hugs, we can sit down and we'll continue with our program. I wish I knew you were here. I would have let you introduce. This is my son, Matthias. This is Gail. She's the chair of the board here.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, how are you?
Great. I'm here.
Good. Do you want to bring a chair here? I mean, we can move the fire out. Where's more comfortable for you? Yeah, and let me give you a hug too. Yeah.
I can.
Maybe we'll move the fire photo. Oh, we can't touch that. I don't want. Maybe from the bottom. It can be. I just want to have Harvey be more comfortable there.
This board is a little weird.
It's okay. No, this will be okay. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Harvey Aronson. I'm one of the founding directors and teachers of Dawn Mountain Tibetan Buddhist Center. I'm trying to assess the energy and the environment and flow with things a little bit here. So the major point of what I wanted to do today will remain, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We have in Tibetan Buddhism a practice of mantra, and it can be very, very complicated and very interesting. Can be very interesting and very complicated, thank you. But we're going to make it very, very simple. The mantra of love and compassion is Om Mani Padme Hung. Okay, so audience, I need some help. I just want to hear if you can do this. Om Mani Padme Hung. Terrific. What was the guy's name? Skitch Henderson, who used to do this? Anyway, at some profound level, the sound is actually love and compassion. Now, we may not be in touch with that immediately, but in the understanding of things, the sound of the mantra and the meaning of the mantra and the value of the mantra are all simultaneously present. The mantra also contains the form of Avalokiteshvara, which many of you may not know, so that's not very necessary to imagine. But if you wanted to even imagine yourself to be in body like His Holiness the Dalai Lama temporarily, or like green Tara, if you're familiar with her. That's okay. These are beings of compassion. The important thing is we're going to chant Om Mani Padme Hum. And in this particular instance, we in the West have a particular need, and that is we need to be loving and compassionate to ourselves. So I want you to pay particular attention to really feeling some love and compassion for yourselves. And then if you can arrive at that, let that feeling just start spreading naturally with the sound to everyone here, everyone in our city, the state, the planet, but not with a lot of effort. We're just going to be invoking love and compassion, articulating love and compassion, and singing love and compassion. And I think that feels like it's in tune with the energy of the occasion. So the tune goes like this. I'll just do it once and then we'll do it together. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you so much, everybody.
That was lovely. Thank you, Harvey. Well, we continue. Let's see if the mic gets to the drum. Do you need...
I'll go to the mic.
Can you come to the mic? Yeah, that'll be... I'm sorry. Can't reach.
It's fine. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. The Houston Zen Center is very pleased to be able to participate in this ceremony, and we would like to share with you the tradition of literally ringing in the new year. We brought our bell from our temple here, and before we begin, I would like to share some words from our abbot, Reverend Galen Godwin, who could not be here today. A little bit of context for the tradition. She says, traditionally, the bells of a Zen temple include a very large bell outside the temple in its own tower, loud enough to resonate for miles around the temple. It is this outside bell that is rung on New Year's Eve. So it is very appropriate that we are ringing this bell outdoors so everyone can hear. We are joined together by hearing the sound. As the Zen teacher Thich Nhat Hanh says, we invite, rather than strike, the bell to sound. The bell calls us deeply. It is such an ancient tradition that there is no simple explanation for the deep human response to the call of the bell. In the Zen tradition, the entire community is invited to come to the temple and join in the ringing of the bells. Each bell is followed by one full bow. Grown-ups and children all take part. So now we'll invite you to take part in this bowing with the bell. Can we have someone demonstrate a full bow? Ishin, can you show? So as the bell rings, traditionally we do what we call a full prostration. And he comes to his feet. So some of this may not be possible for all of us here. So I invite you to do a standing bow, which is simply following the sound of the bell. And whichever method you choose, I would just encourage you to be aware of your presence in your body and in the community. And we will bow toward the center, wherever we are, straight forward towards the center. Okay?
Mary, can we also people who can't stand, they do them seated also?
Sure, yes,
Do you
that's an
wanna-
option
because,
too.
I mean, just in case.
We'd also like to point out that people who can't stand for each of the bows, and we will be bowing, we will be ringing the bell for maybe 9 minutes or so. If you can't stand, feel free to just bow in your seat.
Thank you. I'm so grateful that Houston Zen Center, Dawn Mountain, Ligmincha were able to come together for this event. And we end with a dedication, which is the classic way of ending in all our Buddhist traditions. It's a way of our vow that we are doing the practice not just for ourselves but for the benefit of all beings. As I was saying, kind of connecting to that inner space and extending it. It just came to mind that I want to do a dedication in a very kind of simple way that I do with my kids, and actually one of them is here. Not see him now though, so but he's on the way back there. So it goes like this. It says, I pray that all my actions of body, speech, and mind be for the benefit of all beings. May all of my actions be good, and none of my actions be bad. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. And what my daughter added was, may all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. And usually we say this at night, so then we hug and say good night. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And feel free to hug. I have to say, I should have said the complete previous session because Barcelona was playing. So